on this second June edition of Outlook TV. Strut Walk fundraiser.
Martina Griffiths at the Waldorf.
Loud Foundation Scholarship Awards. And much, much more. You are going to wash your hands, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Dan Doomshop. Outlook TV is the queer news magazine show that brings you stories from coast to coast that matter the most. And today we're coming to you from the gender-neutral washroom at 1181.
Dan, only the best for your last show.
For our first story, Skylar brings us the Strut Walk.
It's the official Strut Walk, and we couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day and a more beautiful crowd as well. This is such a fantastic event. It is a great cause for newcomers and LGBT refugees coming into Canada, and what a fantastic way to celebrate. Let's check it out. There are a lot of brave men here today wearing very tall heels, including Paul, who's going to actually put me in a pair of heels.
Left side first.
Okay.
There you go. I'll hold your microphone
thank
for a second.
you.
There
Hold
you go.
All right. Ooh, is black my color?
Black is your color, I think. It's
Oh.
pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good.
And then just what?
Yeah, you got to
it
strap
on?
one of them on at
Okay.
least, or else they'll fall off for
Okay,
sure.
okay.
Are we cinched up?
We are
Okay,
cinched.
don't get up.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna stand first.
Do I have to get up?
All right, give a hand.
Okay.
Up you come. It's like walking on your high heels. There you go.
Woo!
Ooh, there we
Holy
are.
smokes!
Got it?
I'm like a 7-foot tall glamazon. Okay, now I've watched my share of RuPaul's Drag Race, so I should have this down by now. I'm gonna strut. All right. Okay, I'm gonna start. But the whole purpose of today's strut is so we know how to feel in walking in a mile in their shoes.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's for the Foundation of Hope, and we started, there was a Government of Canada program where we can pull in LGBT refugees from other countries where they're persecuted, where it's not very good to live right now.
Yeah.
So if we can raise $7,000 per person, we get to pull one in, or $12,000 for a couple. And it's a great way for us to give back.
We've been strutting all day, baby.
Yeah. And I see you're making some donations slash tips already for the cause. Yeah. Got some 10s going on. We got some 5s. I saw a 5 there. All right.
It's amazing. I'm really, really excited because this is practically acknowledgement of years of work for refugees and LGBTIQ community and allies, which is great to see actually even probably more allies than part of the LGBTIQ community. I hope that my story will not be the only one to be heard, because every story is really one of a kind, and every story really brings everyone a reality check of how people live in the different countries and being hidden in closet and being prosecuted, killed, attacked, or humiliated. So it's really important to raise money to help people. Walking a mile in heels is better than being a lifetime in closet. So
Absolutely.
This is the support where we give.
Rebecca, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
And they're always glad you came.
Well, then you should go to the Hardwood Community Cafe. And Logan brings us more.
Hey, I'm Logan Alexander, and we're here with Outlook TV in the Coast Salish Territories, Vancouver, BC, to check out Hardwood Community Cafe, a social justice cafe and hub for the LGBTQ community.
being a cafe in the middle of Vancouver amidst a lot of development, it's really hard to figure out what are ways that we can kind of stay committed to social justice in every single aspect that we have in the cafe. So not only just the way that we connect with our community, about what is a way that we can create the space as a home. I think that that's kind of the most simple question that we can kind of put it down to. And the way that we actually get that answer isn't through us saying, we think that this is the way that people will like it. Hardwood is a space that everyone creates. So as more and more people come in to say, this is a way that I feel like I would be a lot more comfortable. These are the things that make me feel like Hardwood is a home to me. We listen to that. And we use that as a way to guide us in how we continue to move forward so that Hardwood is a place that's based on access and inclusion. So when people want to come and do an event at Hardwood, usually they contact us or we contact them, because it's kind of like we see a collaboration here that would be really, really awesome and worthwhile for the both of us. And then from there we kind of figure out how to work together. And Morgan actually was the person that emailed me to say, hey, the Trans-Aligned Society would be really interested in doing something.
Absolutely. And we were looking for space that was open and accessible, and accessible not just physically but also emotionally and spiritually to people, that was really accessible. And Hardwood has some features that are really important to me when it comes to accessibility.
Hardwood Community Cafe is kind of like my living room. Sometimes it's my living room, sometimes it's my safe haven to go and just relax and create art and poetry and hang out with the staff, because they're pretty amazing people.
I came here because I know I will be safe and they will respect the gender that I identify with.
Thanks for having us, Hardwood, and thanks for all that you do for the LGBTQ community. For Outlook TV, I'm Logan Alexander.
We're going to have to take just a little break now.
But stick around, because we have lots more queer stories right here on Outlook TV. Ooh, a spa lady.
La Vie en Rose.
Pretty boy. Bartender.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
And you're watching us have beautiful drinks from 1181. What did you get?
I got La Vie en Rose.
Oh, I got the spa lady.
I bet you did.
Well, while we enjoy these, you're also in for a treat, because our executive community producer, Fred Camperman, brings us the gay agenda. What's he talking about this week?
I think it's something trans-related.
Let's hear from Fred.
Wow, is it me or the vodka? Asked one of my straight friends after looking at Caitlyn Jenner's cover of Vanity Fair. Caitlyn said that in that interview that she has a new platform that is so large and that she wants to make better use of it. And well, since joining Instagram and Twitter on June 1st, Caitlyn has an enormous platform with 1.6 million followers on Instagram and an overwhelming 2.45 million fans on Twitter. She officially holds the record for the fastest growing Twitter account, beating President Obama for that title. It's great to see such celebrities as her and Laverne Cox use their status to get transgendered accepted in the media. Also, it's great to see the media is treating them like ladies, with respect and respectful language. The media took the high ground and talked about how brave Caitlyn was to be true to herself and become the person whom she always knew she really was. I guess all of those anti-bullying campaigns and It Gets Better campaigns are really paying off. It would have been so easy to ridicule Caitlyn and do interviews with a bitter ex-wife. The only really idiotic thing came from Michael Huckabee, the Republican presidential hopeful, who said that he would love to have been transgender in high school so that he could see all those young girls in the showers. Well, late night comedians said that that statement was just as creepy as he is. It was considered a tasteless joke that might have gone well over in the 1950s, but not today. So things are changing for the better. As Laverne Cox, who was on the cover of Time magazine, she gave some advice to Caitlyn about being transgender, that it isn't just about being another pretty woman. It's about raising transgender awareness. So yes, the media might be kind, treating both Laverne Cox and Caitlyn Jenner with respect and being all inclusive and supportive. But I'm afraid that a lot of that is only happening on TV to the rich and famous. Not so much for the everyday transgender, from the poor black dishwasher to the Asian accountant to the working poor white mechanic. They all face the most challenges of the LGBTQ community when it comes to school, work, and housing. And with these difficult challenges, they are more likely to contemplate suicide or experience homelessness. These prejudices come up especially when you have the dumbass Duggar family with their crazy right-wing Christian mother, Michelle Duggar, saying transphobic things like, trans people are fighting for the right of child molesters to take off their pants in front of their daughters. Meanwhile, her own straight son, Josh Duggar, sexually molested his 4 sisters and 1 babysitter. Well, so I applaud Caitlyn Jenner and Laverne Cox for what they're doing for trans rights. But the average, everyday transgender person is a long way to go before trans rights are equal rights. But hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Next up, our reporter Karen takes us to the Loud Scholarship Awards.
I have been to a Loud networking event, and they're fantastic. And to know that the money goes to something like these scholarships makes them extra special. So Karen, bring us the story.
Hi, I'm Karen with Outlook TV, and we're here at the Loud Gala, where they're giving out some amazing scholarships tonight. Let's check it out.
This is the 6th annual Loud Awards, and the Loud stands for Leadership, Opportunity, Unity, Diversity, and it's the philanthropic arm of Loud Business, which is a membership business association. And we identified a need for recognizing emerging leaders in the LGBTQ community. So 6 years ago, we started the foundation, and a lot of people have contributed to it. And so this year, we're actually giving the most awards that we ever have. We're giving away 7 scholarships between $2,000 and $1,000. And this year is the first year that Jim Diva is not going to be with us. So this year we're giving away 2 Jim Diva Memorial Scholarships, and we're building a legacy to make sure that it endures for years to come.
Can you tell us which award you were given and how it feels?
Yeah, so I was the recipient of the Reese Barajas Award, and it feels amazing. I have a really hard time articulating exactly my gratitude and the privilege that I feel at being given this award and being feted at this incredible event. There are so many people here, and it's so lovely, so I'm just feeling like a wash of emotions right now.
We think it's such an important thing to ask young people to actually follow their passion, their dream, and for them to know that there's somebody out there that supports them, wants them to succeed, and wants them to be exactly who they are and who they should become.
The scholarship means so much. I'm going to keep doing my activism, keep doing the volunteering, and keep hoping making you all proud. So thank you so much.
So this one's named after Little Sisters Bookstore, and it's especially meaningful to me because literature and fiction and writing is my passion. It's a Loud scholarship, but I'm actually a very quiet and soft-spoken person. Writing is the medium where I express myself the best. And I'm a frequent visitor of the Little Sisters Bookstore, very grateful for its existence. So I'm very honored and very grateful.
It's really important to have this event because it's an opportunity, first of all, for people to know all the amazing things that are already going on in our community. Every year we put together a selection committee to shortlist the recipients, and then we interview them in one day in a room where we call them and we ask them questions. And it's just always so emotional and absolutely humbling for us to see what these often young people, but people of all ages, as we've said, the initiatives that they come up with and that they follow through with, sometimes as young as 16 or 17, and having the awareness to do that is absolutely astounding to me. So when we have the awards, it's just an opportunity to say to them, we see what you're doing and we support you and we encourage you to keep going. Look at you. Thank you for all that you do.
We're going to have to take just a little break now. We have to go mingle with all the people here for Dan's going away party.
Yes, and while we mingle, you should stick around because there's more stories where these came from.
So long, neighbors and friends, like a country morning, all snuggled in two. But she's got a way to make me feel all shiny and new.
Up next, Fred is going to get down and dirty with Constance Barnes.
Oh, I love talking politics.
Thanks, Rebecca and Dan. So, Vancouver Centre is looking for a new position to be filled, and that's for the MP for Vancouver Centre. And here is one of the candidates, Constance Barnes, and she's running against Teddy Fry. But she's the new kid on the block for this. So, of course, we have to ask some questions that would come up in a conversation for a job interview. So, first, tell us about yourself.
First thing is, new kid on the block. I haven't been called that in a while. I remember that band. Well, for myself, I've been elected for 6 years at the municipal level. So I was chair and a commissioner at the Vancouver Park Board. And a lot of the issues that I worked very diligently are very similar to things I'm passionate about and I think need to be brought to the federal level. So I'm a single mom. I have 2 grown children. I'm out there training right now for another 8K run. So I'm very involved with the environment. I'm involved with my community. I'm born and raised here in Vancouver. I have a lot of history in politics, as my father, Emery Barnes, was in for 24 years. He was the first black MLA in Canada and the first black House Speaker. So in my family, it was always said, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So I've always been involved in politics, and I'm really looking forward to getting out there and working hard to hopefully secure this position.
What do you think are some LGBTQ issues that still need to be dealt with?
So I'm actually going to speak very specifically to the NDP gay agenda, which is the only party, we are the only party that have a gay agenda. So Bill C-79, which guarantees equal rights for transgender and gender variant Canadians. Another one is ending discrimination policies on the blood and organ donations. This is a huge one that I've talked to people in Vancouver that are beautifully healthy, willing to give blood and be an organ donor, and they're not allowed to be. So that's part of the gay agenda for the NDP. Also Bill C-600, which is suspending the criminal records for gay offenses which are no longer illegal. So, and this goes back to, and I had a really interesting discussion with MP Randall Garrison this morning of Wanda Fuca, and he's an out gay MP, and he was telling me that things that were that now are legal, including anal sex, people have criminal records. So what's happened is seniors who want to go and volunteer now, at this point in their life, and get involved in other things and be involved in their community, they have to do a criminal check, and it comes up that they have a criminal record. So, and even when they're going across the border, it comes up. And it's usually seniors, and I found that was really interesting, which ties into another one, which is, of course, securing an apology for civil servants who are fired on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. So that's another piece of the gay agenda. This is an interesting one, revising service records for the discharge from the Canadian Forces on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. And this is another bill. This is Vancouver Centre, the West End. These are all very, very relevant. We have a gay agenda that I would like to see put forward, that I would absolutely support. We're safe. But I really don't feel that the Bill C-51 is the way to go forward. And I'm hoping that people will come out and support me and know that I'm here to work hard and to represent them the very, very best I possibly can.
Well, thanks for coming in for this interview.
It is my pleasure.
And we'll let you know in October.
Yes, we
You
will.
got the job.
Yay! Pope or Constance Barnes. Thank you so much,
you.
Fred.
Next up, let's go to East Van, to the Waldorf.
Oh, I love East Van. Who's playing?
Martina Griffiths.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, I'm Ray Clark for Outlook TV, and we're here in Vancouver at the Waldorf. We're about to interview Martina Griffiths. She's the great Canadian singer, and she's singing the Great Canadian Songbook. Let's see what she has to say.
Well, I'm on my way to the city light, to a pretty face that shines a light on the
When I was living in New York, I kind of came to the realization in all my shows that I've ever done, I had never covered a Canadian song. It was all jazz and, never a Canadian song. So this show is to remedy that. So I'm featuring all Canadian songwriters' songs from Justin Bieber to Joni Mitchell, of course, and everywhere between, BTO, Stampeders.
Welcome, welcome. There we go. Welcome to the Great Canadian Songbook, Volume 1.
I grew up listening to Canadian music and singing along to Canadian music on the radio. I love Canadian music, and a lot of people don't even know some of these people are Canadian, right? So the concept came up with is I'm just going to do an all Canadian show to remedy that I've never done a Canadian song before this. Okay. Yeah. So I write some songs. I'm performing one this evening called Divine, which is about my love for nature and my concern for it. So, I just decided to include one, though, because I only have one Joni Mitchell song, and it's called The Great Canadian Songbook. But I thought I should put one original in there. After this show's done, I hope to start working on Volume 2. And if anyone has any suggestions for great Canadian songs that they love and grew up with, I am more than pleased to hear it. Please email me. Again, go to my website, martinagriffiths.com, and give me suggestions, because, I want to hear about them.
So long, neighbors and friends, like a country.
When I was at camp as a wee one, an all-girls camp, I was taught this song. I don't think I really understood what we were singing, and at the end we went Pinky Power, which I believe is friendship in sign language, and it goes, I love you, you love me, homosexuality, and people think, ooh, we're just friends, but we're really lesbians, ba-ba-da-do-da-do-da-do-day. And I get the whole audience to sing along, and I actually did learn that at camp at a very young age.
Well, I'm on my way to the city light, to a pretty face that shines a light on the city night. And I gotta catch a...
So unfortunately, we don't have any more time left for this, the second June episode, the final Dan episode of Outlook TV.
I want to thank all of our viewers for watching Outlook TV and for following us. I want to thank you, Rebecca, and our whole Outlook TV team. It's been an amazing journey. I'm excited to go to New York and represent our tradition of telling queer stories and see what New York has to offer. So I don't know who's going to replace me here, but...
Your replacement's here already. Bye, Dan. He's going to New York, okay? Hi, Rebecca, my new co-host. Don't we look fabulous together? Oh, my gosh, I can't wait to host with you. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually the new host yet, but I might be. Who knows? We'll see.
You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
I will make you down.
Oh. Well, from all of us here at Outlook TV, follow us on Facebook, catch us on YouTube, and
Stay fabulous, Canada!